Hello and welcome back to Lewis the Woodworker. In today's video I'm going to show you how I made this plywood pattern balance board. I started by cutting a board of birch plywood using my track saw. Then over at the bandsaw I cut 11 35mm strips. I used my random orbit sander to clean up all the edges and make sure everything was nice and smooth. I cut all the strips to length using my miter saw and a stop block at my miter saw station. I then dry fitted everything onto my workbench to see that I had enough strips to get a 180mm by 900mm board. I glued everything together using Tide Bond 2 and spreading it with a roller, and then using lots of clamps to clamp it together. I also used some weights where needed to make sure that it was completely flat. I then sanded it smooth with my orbital sander and cut it into a square edge board using my track saw. Back over the bandsaw I used it to cut 5mm veneers using a 3TPI 3/4 inch blade. I have to say I'm very impressed with this bandsaw and the cut quality, so if you're interested I will link it down below in the description. Out of this 35mm board I could get 6 veneers, which meant 3 boards. I cut the edges of the veneers straight using my track saw and then stuck them together using some masking tape. Once I got all the veneers cut up and sanded, I used my track saw again to cut some 18mm plywood to go underneath the veneers. I made a quick template for the board using SketchUp, my printer and my bandsaw, and then cutting it out of some spare 18mm OSB. Later I will stick this template onto the boards, roughly cut it on the bandsaw, and then use a flush trim bit on my router table to cut it perfectly. Next I glued the veneers onto the 18mm plywood using lots of clamps and plenty of glue. Again I used some weights for extra pressure onto the board. Once the board dried up, I cut it on the bandsaw and on the router table, and then gave it a round over with my small palm router, and then sanded everything smooth and gave it 3 coats of clear spray lacquer. If you're interested in buying one of these, I will have my Etsy store linked down in the description for you to have a look at them. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more upcoming videos.